Why consistency feels hard, even when you care. What if the reason consistency feels so hard isn't because we don't care enough? What if it isn't a discipline problem or a motivation issue? What if it's our nervous system asking for rhythm and not pressure? Let's talk about it. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Simone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan and my BFF, my best friend forever, for real. I'm also a celebrity certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, raised in Dallas, built in Los Angeles. I trained at Juilliard School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only 3-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 fitness DVDs and infomercials. The first of the 450 fitness DVDs and infomercials was led by celebrity trainer and the GOAT, Gunnar Peterson, who's known for training the Kardashian family. As a celebrity personal trainer myself, some of my notable clients include Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, Amber Riley of Glee, and as a sports and entertainment media host, some of my favorite red carpet moments include chatting with Richard Branson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, Tiana Taylor, Justin Baldoni, and Issa Rae, to name a few. I share my accomplishments to honor the millions of sacrifices my mom planted in me so that I could blossom and flourish into the woman I'm still becoming. So, if you're listening and or watching, pull up a digital chair, grab yourself a cup of hot or cold herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8, a 15-minute micro learning moment for macro living. And I am so overjoyed that you are here because this is where we explore and lean into life with our lived experiences, yours and mine, where we invite lots of grace into this space as we're living in some interesting times. We chat all about spirit, mind, and body health because ultimately that is our wealth in micro doses for macro living. So make sure you join me twice daily for just 15 minutes at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time because this is your 15-minute chance for your daily pause for a cause, for clarity, wellness, grace, and intentional decision making. Giving yourself grace because how we start our day and how we end it matters. Each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 question to sit with. Something practical, something grounded, and hopefully something you could carry with you. So, wherever you're listening from, turn it up and tune in. And if anything you hear today pricks your heart or lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe, share this with someone you care about, leave a comment so that this is a dialogue and not a monologue, and please leave a 5-star rating. So let's take a breath together. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's lean into today's episode of Cut to the Chase at 8. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. And let's get ready, set, grow, and go. And be great. All right, so we are settled in. And wherever you are listening from right now, if you're driving, walking, working out, resting, being a caretaker, or just laying in bed, that's good too, or simply pausing, let this be a soft place to land. Because today's conversation is for anyone who deeply cares, but still struggles with consistency. Not because the purpose isn't there, and not because the desire is missing, but because something else is at play. And so here's today's question. What if consistency isn't built through pressure, but through rhythm? I'll ask again. What if consistency isn't built through pressure, but through rhythm? Which brings me to key number one. Motivation, it fades. Rhythm sustains. Key number one, motivation fades. Rhythm sustains. Motivation is emotional. It rises, it falls. It depends on energy. It depends on your season, your mood, your circumstances, and what your spirit is feeling sometimes. Rhythm is physiological. It's predictable. It's supportive, and it's regulating. When we rely on motivation alone, consistency becomes fragile. But when we build rhythm, small, repeatable, forgiving patterns, the nervous system relaxes, and relaxed systems return more often. Consistency isn't about intensity, it's about returning. Which brings me to key number two. The nervous system responds to safety, not force. Willpower pushes, the nervous system listens. When consistency is framed as pressure, quote unquote, shoulds, guilt, comparison, or urgency, the body resists. But when consistency is framed as care, gentle structure, flexibility, permission, the body participates. This is why some seasons require fewer goals, more grace, shorter commitments, softer expectations, and resting in a space that feels peaceful. Not because we're failing, but because we're recalibrating. Which brings me to key number three. Consistency is built by making it easier to begin again. And consistency isn't about never missing. It's about how we return after we miss. When returning feels heavy, we avoid it. When returning feels safe, we come back and we repeat it. Rhythm says, come as you are. Start where you are. Begin again, but gently. And that's how consistency becomes sustainable. Consistency can become the thing that we could do and repeat over and over and over again. So, bringing it together, if consistency feels hard and challenging, like an uphill battle right now, it doesn't mean we don't care. It means something inside of us needs to be supportive, or it just needs support, or it needs to feel safe, and safety is so important for our nervous system. It needs rhythm, a rhythm that you could keep up with, and something that doesn't feel like you're getting off beat. And my favorite word, it needs grace. Because sometimes we give other people more grace than we give ourselves. And that's important. Grace that you give yourself. And forgiveness. I think that is important too when we're looking at grace. And not being perfect, because I think we often try to be perfect. And when we shift from pressure and perfection to rhythm and being synchronized, consistency becomes something we live and not chase. That's a good one. Let's say that again. And when we shift from pressure and perfection to rhythm, consistency becomes something we live and not chase. So, the reflection question, and something that we could sit with. What if rhythm could create something that supports your consistency without pressure? And what would it look like for you to return gently instead of perfectly and without pressure? What would that look like? And how would that make your nervous system and your spirit feel? How would that feel for you to not put pressure on yourself to be perfect? So that's the reflection question today that I want you to sit with. So before you go and before you turn this episode off, I just want to say thank you from the bottom and top of my heart. It has truly been an honor and a pleasure sharing this time with you. And thank you for continuing to give yourself grace in this space with me today. I am so genuinely thankful you chose to step into this cozy digital home with me. So before you head out, let's quickly revisit our 3 keys and 1 question from today's episode. Key number 1, motivation, it fades. Rhythm sustains. And so motivation can look like a lot of things. It could look like, oh, I'm going to listen to a certain song every day, or I'm going to do something or read an inspirational quote. And there's nothing wrong with that. But rhythm sustains. So getting yourself in a rhythm of small, repeatable actions that can sustain itself. Key number 2, the nervous system responds to safety, not force. Our nervous system is such a delicate balance of what your mind and your spirit and your body actually needs. And so your nervous system, it responds to safety and not force and not pushing, and something that feels subliminally like it could either not be good for us in that moment and or in that space. Which brings me to key number 3. Consistency is built by making it easier to begin again. So you could stay consistent. I can stay consistent if it's built on a foundation that makes it feel easier for our bodies to start again, to repeat again, over and over and over. So if today's episode offered you clarity, insight, or even a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, and if there's anything that I've shared today that pricks your heart or lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe. Share this with someone you care about, or leave a comment, either voicemail, or you could send me an email here and read the show notes as well. Because the show notes, you could actually leave a comment here on this episode. And please leave a 5-star rating because it helps this space to grow and reach others. So thank you again for joining me here twice a day for our daily 15-minute microdose for macro living. And if you want to become a Chaser Circle founding member, please click the link in this show note description. We would love for you to help create the space that we're creating and help this space to grow. So let's begin with 1 breath. Let's close today with 1 breath, the way we'd like to start. 1 breath, inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. This is Cut to the Chase at 8 with me, Madison Simone Chase. Thank you for starting and ending your day with intention and grace. And this is Cut to the Chase at 8. You are ready, set to grow, and let's go and be great, and let's be clear, and let's be great. Blessings to you and yours until tomorrow.